Alright guys, in today's video we are talking about the next generation consoles once again because we have some very exciting news to talk about here. We have some official news, we also have some not so official news regarding the PlayStation event. However, where this news is coming from is pretty reliable. We're not talking about random forum users, we are talking about individuals who are involved with the industry and would know if something is going to happen relatively soon. So the first thing we're going to be going over is this new Xbox event that was announced for May 7th, which is very, very soon, and I plan to live stream it as long as everything goes according to plan. And what they're going to be doing is showing off new third-party games. I'm assuming they'll be new, running on the next generation Xbox, and this is kind of a big deal for PlayStation fans as well because since Microsoft has confirmed this is focused on third-party games and not first-party, these are also games that we will be able to play on our PlayStation 5 when we buy one. So that's going to be exciting. We're also talking about the big PlayStation 5 event and how it seems that we are just weeks away from Sony actually doing this big event that we have all been waiting for. And on top of that, Jeff Keighley has recently announced a Summer Game Fest event, or yeah, it's pretty much an event, but it's going to last 4 months. So that's interesting as well because I believe PlayStation is involved with it. So we're going to go over all of this information. If you could do me a favor, be sure to hit the like button to support the video or show your excitement, and be sure to hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss any future content. But getting into it here, the first thing we're talking about is this Xbox event because this is the thing that is officially confirmed. It says apparently that Microsoft has just announced that it plans to showcase next generation gameplay as part of a digital Inside Xbox event next week from its global developers partners. Amongst the reveals will be third-party titles also coming to the PlayStation 5, meaning we are finally about to get a taste of what these machines can do. And that, in my opinion, is one of the biggest reasons I'm actually excited for this Inside Xbox. I haven't watched Inside Xbox for quite some time, and to me, this actually sounds like it's going to be an exciting one. I doubt we're going to be disappointed in this one because, again, they wouldn't hype something like this up if they weren't going to be showing new games. I think we're going to see the new Assassin's Creed game there. Maybe we'll see Cyberpunk. You know, they're saying here maybe we'll even see Dying Light 2. But the game that I'm hoping we see is Elden Ring, which is the upcoming game from Software. That is a game that I'm eagerly anticipating, but we haven't really seen anything of it, and they've been very quiet, so I have to assume that when they finally do talk about it, it's going to be announced as a next-gen game or a cross-gen game, and they're going to have a lot to show. At least that is what I'm hoping. But either way, I'm very excited for this, because even though they're going to be showing this stuff running on the next-generation Xbox, again, they are all games that will be playable on the PS5. And so what this also tells me is that Microsoft is kind of planning to have their own dedicated event for just first party alone, which I've been seeing a lot of people say that this is a good thing because it shows how confident Microsoft is, and I agree, it is a good thing. So, we're going to wait to see about, that. I think it's supposed to happen in June or July, but there you go. May 7th, there's going to be an official Xbox event where they show off third party next generation games, which is very exciting. And so moving on from that, we're talking about the actual PlayStation 5 event. And, there's a lot of conversation surrounding this, but says that earlier in April, a reliable source, VGC, reported that Sony recently had plans to reveal the PS5 in May. However, the publication was unsure if the Japanese giant would be forced to alter these plans because of the aforementioned stuff that's going on in the world right now. Still, the report gave us something to go on, and we did talk about that. And it says that this is where things start to add up. In the know, GamesBeat reporter Jeff Grubb is hinting that Sony's event could take place on June 4th, but it sounds like an actual PS5 hardware reveal could arrive earlier than that. This makes us think that Sony might just unveil the box itself in a blog post or a video, much like it did with the DualSense controller. Then we've got a tweet that holds this all together. Following the announcement of Microsoft's Xbox event taking place next week, well-known Scoop Master, as they call him here, Jason Schreier, was asked when Sony's event is happening. He replied, few more weeks, I believe. So basically in a few more weeks. So this is very interesting because, this is where I want to tell you guys it's safe to believe what these individuals are saying. The reason why I'm saying that is because, going back to January and February, things were still kind of up in the air, and we got burned, or at least I got burned for believing a lot of these so-called insiders, which I'm not making that mistake again. But these individuals, not only are they actual, games industry people, Jeff Grubb, Jason Schreier, they're pretty well known, and they kind of only say these things when they feel pretty confident in them, especially Jason Schreier. And the most important thing you need to understand here, and the reason why this is pretty much guaranteed to happen within the coming weeks, is because we are at a point where third-party developers want to talk about their next-generation games, the games that are coming out this holiday season, and the window is closing. And so you already see that Microsoft is getting a head start here, and this is why they're focusing on third-party, because third-party is very eager. The same thing is going to happen with Sony, and because of that, Sony's going to have to do something very soon. And so we're hearing that apparently it's going to be June 4th. I'm going to say that, yeah, that sounds accurate to me. That sounds like an exact time when Sony would want to do something like this. And I have a feeling that when they do it, it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be mainly game focused, but also them talking about their vision and things that are going to change between this generation and next generation, their policies, all this really important stuff that we don't know about yet, but we're going to want to know about when we finally hear more about this next generation PlayStation console. And as for the idea of the hardware reveal coming sooner than that, I think that makes sense as well. We do know that Sony was planning to do a hardware teardown, and to me, that's something that you would want to show off separately outside of the big reveal event that's probably going to focus on games. I think Sony is well aware that when they do have this big event, that's pretty much what people are going to want to be excited for and what they're going to tune in for. Obviously, we want to see the console, but more importantly, we want to see the games. We want to see the new games. We want to see what they're capable of, what this console is capable of doing for these games, what they're going to look like, what the launch lineup is going to look like. So I think that this month, guys, we could end up seeing not only the PlayStation 5 console, but that teardown that Mark Cerny has already teased in the past. So I don't want to say lock that in, but it really does seem like within the next 5 to 6 weeks, we are certainly going to be seeing some big stuff happening. And again, for those who are maybe a little bit nervous that nothing's going to happen, I just feel like there's no reason to believe that because, again, the window is closing. Third-party developers are eager to show off their games, and there's no doubt that they are pressuring Microsoft and Sony to, kind of get the show on the road here and talk about it more. However, I think, it's interesting when you pay attention to this Microsoft event. They're holding back their first-party stuff. We did hear Phil Spencer recently talk about this, and basically what he said is that they're not anticipating that they're going to have to delay the hardware. Like, everything in that area is going perfectly fine. But when it comes to the software and the game development, because of everything that's been going on, there is a chance that they may have to push games back because of this. And I have to imagine that the same thing is probably happening with Sony. Maybe not. I'm just assuming. And so I hope that whenever we do see this PS5 event, it's not just a third-party game focus. I highly doubt it will be. I think there's going to be first-party and third-party games. That's just my assumption. But either way, guys, this is some very exciting news. The final thing I want to inform you guys about here is the Summer Game Fest that was just announced. It says here with the cancellation of E3 2020, it feels like everyone is trying to replace the annual event. IGN, GameSpot, and Games Radar are all doing their own thing, promising digital events that will feature all kinds of next-gen game coverage and industry news. All of these showings are going to make for a busy summer, but it's about to get even busier. Veteran presenter and producer Jeff Keighley has announced the Summer Game Fest, which will stretch all the way from May to August 2020. According to the Hollywood Reporter, it's going to be a 4-month rollout of news, announcements, playable demos of upcoming games, interviews, panels, and more from leading developers and publishers. So, Jeff Keighley actually put out an image here. I'll see if I can get it up on screen where he's showing all of the publishers that are involved. And, there's a lot of big ones here, and you see Xbox, but you also see PlayStation and a bunch of others as well. So this is pretty cool. I'm excited to see how this is going to be handled because, as this article points out, is everybody's trying to do their own thing. IGN's doing their own thing, and a bunch of other sites are doing it. So It sounds like we are going to have a lot of news and a lot of different ways to consume this news and information, and so I'm excited for it. I'm obviously going to keep you guys updated on everything PlayStation, but also a lot of Xbox stuff as well. Basically, a lot of next-gen stuff, and so, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you found it informative, and I hope that your excitement levels are a little bit higher now, because even though the past couple days have been a little bit down, I am still incredibly excited for next generation, and I think that there's going to be a lot of different reasons to be very excited. And we have been talking pretty much nonstop about the PlayStation 5 since January, and we are just getting that much closer to the big event, and it's just, it's very exciting times, guys. So let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. Be sure to leave the video a like if you did enjoy it or found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.